everybody, this is Astraeakeva. Welcome to my channel. In today's video I will be talking about record 34 and how I construct the human body. I will show you guys how I break down each body part and then also share some stories on how I'm self-studying. So first of all, I'm going to start off with the head. And I basically do what most people do, which is break up your head into two parts, which will be a sphere and also a little, I would say, an upside down pyramid, with a square tip. So because I'm doing gesture studies, I'm not focusing that much on the faces, but to give the faces more direction, I kind of just draw in, the lines and the contour lines and all of that. But when I'm drawing portraits for my cover art or semi-realistic paintings, I tend to do this. The reason why I studied this is because in the future I would like to draw from my imagination. So how do I twist the head and all of that? These are things that I have to think about. Another thing is I will put a link in the description for some of the resources that I use to draw the head. But I learned this method from an online course that I took called Character Art School. So it's on Udemy, and I'll put a link in the description. It's not an affiliate link or anything like that, but I will put it in the description box below. For the torso and pelvis, I'm mixing two different classes or teachers that I studied from, and I'm basically just using a box. And what I've done is, this is kind of a personal thing that I do, is for the male torso, the upper body, I try to make it more convex. And is that the word, convex? Well, I curve it up. And for the female torso, I curve it down, sort of to give that sharp edge for the shoulders. And then I also recently watched a video by Perko and how they twist the middle of the body like a bean bag, which makes it look and feel more alive. So I'm kind of incorporating those two ideas of having these boxes and kind of twisting and turning them, and you can switch it up. You can make your chest face one direction and your pelvis face another to make your character look more alive. I mean, it's possible, and these are good practices if you are trying to draw from your imagination, just to practice twisting certain parts of the body to see how it reacts and how it looks. So that's kind of what I'm doing. As you guys can see with this, I moved the chest to the left. So you see how the middle part of the body sort of twists to the left. Another thing is, I will talk about the male and female chests and pelvises. This is kind of normal things that everybody should know, is that the male shoulders and the chest are sort of wide and the pelvis is sort of narrow. And Mark Burnett's channel, he said it so well. He said, like, the male is sort of like a box, the pelvis is like a box, and the female's pelvis is sort of wider, and it tilts down. It just makes it look more feminine, I think. So that's kind of how I draw my male and female bodies. There's nothing like crazy about it. There isn't any deep technical knowledge that I have. All I do is just apply what I learn online. But my biggest problem is that my chest and my pelvis are always too close to each other. So that's a mistake I have to fix all the time, is that the space between them is just a little bit too narrow, and I'm trying to tell myself every day, don't do this, don't do this. Next up, for the limbs, I do the same thing for both my arms and legs. This is something I studied from character art school. No matter how much I try to study another way to draw arms and legs, I always go back to this, which is a cone. And I sort of like a cone that's bent. So let me show you guys how I do that. So here I have like a chest and pelvis and all of that. I first mark out where I'm going to put like the elbows and the knees. So let's see how I'm going to draw that. So I'm going to share with you guys what I do first. The first thing that I start with are the forearms and the lower legs. No matter what, I always do that. For the forearms, where the hand is going to open is where the narrow part is going to be. Yeah, I think I'll make another video, but where the hand opens up is where the narrow part tends to be. So, and then I do the opposite, but kind of flowing the body, and I don't want the two cylinders to go in the same direction. So opposing curves or curves and straights and all of that some people say. And I always start with the lower legs, because the lower legs, where the curve is where the calf is going to be. So I always try to do the lower legs first and then figure out the top parts. That way your character will look kind of more alive. Yeah, and curves are very important. Curves throughout your entire body, from your head to your toes. So next up, I'm going to do the hands. I did a hand study recently. I also did a foot study. I'll put those somewhere description, or you can find them the link above. But the hand, there are two ways that I tend to draw the hand. I either draw a cube, and the cube's length is the same length as the middle finger. So these two will have the same length. So that's sort of how I do it. And then it all depends on, everybody has different types of fingers. But when I look at my own hands, the index finger is a bit longer than the ring finger. So I try to make the index finger a bit longer than the ring finger. Yeah, so that's kind of how I draw hands. I don't have any problems with drawing hands and feet, although I do find them weird. If you spend quite enough time trying to figure them out, I think you'll be able to draw hands. So don't rush drawing hands, just try to figure them out. And here right now I'm showing you guys that everything is a curve. So there's a curve where your fingernail is, then it's gonna go up, then down and up. So like I said, opposing curves up in every single part of your body, even with your toes. It really doesn't matter. Even your arms. I'll make a video where I'm doing my arm anatomy studies. So even with your arms, they are opposing curves. For the feet, what I do is I draw these two lines that are coming from the leg. Sorry about the noise. These two lines that are coming from the legs, and then I will draw a circle and then a bent triangle for the heel. Once I do that, I kind of get the feel of the foot. So it just comes intuitively. It's nothing technical. I don't have to think too deep about it. But the thumb always moves up. Not the thumb, the big toe. The big toe always moves up, and the other toes are always curving down. So that's kind of how I always draw my toes. Ankle bone is very important. Makes it look more alive. you can draw boots from that. And also the wrist bone. So that's kind of how I study or break my body down, or construct my body. So for the rest of the video, I will be drawing all of these gesture drawings, so feel free to watch the entire video. And when it comes to gesture drawings, I don't focus too much on beauty. I really don't care that much about my drawings looking perfect. All I'm trying to do is, are my portraits showing some sort of feeling or emotion of my characters, or am I encompassing what they're doing? So that's why I do gesture drawings almost every single day. And I incorporate new things that I study every day, new things that I've seen on YouTube or on my online courses. I try to incorporate those with my gesture drawings to see how they end up. My first drawings always end up looking horrible, but as time goes by, the more gesture drawings I do, the better it is. So I think it's good to do gesture drawings every single day. Also, when I do gesture drawings first in the day, and then I do other art, everything tends to flow. My hand tends to flow, so it's a great warm-up for me when I have like a day ahead of just drawing and stuff like that. So yeah, my gesture drawings don't have to look perfect. I don't aim for them to look perfect. I'm just trying to get the feel and all of that. So I drew 27 gesture drawings. I intended to draw 30, but I paused the recording, and then I forgot to pause the Pose Maniacs, so I ended up skipping 3. But yeah, as you guys can notice, my biggest struggle is the space between the torso and the pelvis. So I'm trying to fix that. Yeah, I'm trying to fix that all the time. But yeah, that's about it. I hope you guys have a great day, and thank you for watching the last minute of my gesture drawings. Bye.